Hey, this is Tyrese Anderson. What I want to talk about today is communism, and not just communism, but why it's a failed political ideology and will never work for anyone who wants to know about communism. So for this video, I will discuss why it doesn't work with 3 points for it. So if you want to know exactly why communism doesn't work, remember to watch this video and trust me, you will get all the answers you want. So let's get started. So let's get started for the first reason why communism doesn't work. The first reason why communism doesn't work is simply down to the fact that if you, of course, have researched and studied communism, it gets rid of one of the most important things any thriving economy needs in order to survive, which, of course, as we all know, is competition. Communism hates competition, as it believes competition is unnecessary and the government needs to control everything in order to make sure society stays in order and there's not corruption, yada yada yada. But that, like anything, when you listen to communism, doesn't work in the real world. And the truth about competition is something that's needed not only to encourage monetary growth, uh, you know, it also helps further society. As the thing is, when people get rid of competition is something that kind of helps make sure things stay good. Whether it could be products you get, whether skincare products, the quality of the food products you get, or even more important things like technology, like smartphones or cars, whatever you want. Tech competition is what something that helps keeps things in a good state. As when you have competition, it makes sure that because there's other people you have to worry about, it makes sure people keep on trying and doing their best to innovate and improve from the competition they obviously have. Okay? But the problem with communism is communism gets rid of competition. As for communism, every company and so on and so forth is state owned. So if everything is state owned, then it will encourage companies to be lazy. As if companies are lazy, truth be told, to be honest with you, because they don't have to worry about anyone obviously posing a risk to um the thing that they're doing, then obviously the truth of the matter is though, um, the truth of the matter is though, in honesty, though, then there's no need for companies to innovate. There's no need to come with newer technologies and or even just more advanced methods of things that were done before, or more better quality products like better tasting food or bigger variety for this. Because at the end of the day, if you only are the game in a block, then who am I competing against? So why do I have to try? And that's one of the biggest flaws of communism. And it's an example why people on the internet should not just listen to everything that they hear and believe it wholeheartedly. As communism gets rid of one of the basic things that is needed for any society or civilization, whatever you like to call it, to grow and thrive. That is a fundamental, first and foremost, flaw with communism. So let's get the second one. Now, for the second one, in all honesty, when it comes to communism, the other thing to also keep in mind for communism that also is very important for communism that tends to get overlooked is the importance of materialism. As the thing, what people tend to misunderstand about the world is that, or more specifically, economics for that matter, is that for a society to thrive, the truth of the matter is you need to find ways to kind of make sure people use as much money as when people just simply, at least traditional way of using a lot of money, of just simply using money just simply to buy clothing and food. That is not an effective way for any society or civilization, even going way back in time, for it to make a profit. Okay, and if people are just simply buying things to live, like clothing and food and just basic accessories and stuff, then that creates a problem. As the truth of the matter is, you know, um, obviously for an economy to grow, which of course, as a result, benefits everyone in some way, shape, or form, it needs people to spend things. It needs people to buy things that are a few $100s. It needs people to, of course, buy products if they have the money that are worth thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, or hundreds of thousands of dollars and stuff. It needs to create a society of people that buy very expensive things from time to time to time, because not only it does it actually, of course, give people great experiences to enjoy, it also, of course, as a result, make sure that people as well, you know as well, you know have something, you know or more specifically, the people in power have something that can, of course, make sure that they make a lot of money, so the economy keeps on thriving, and we don't have issues. And obviously, if you get rid of this system, then obviously economy is gonna stun. And knowing how the real world works, you stop doing something because you're very critical of yourself and you've developed a lot of hate. Then guess what? Other people are gonna do it. So for any nation, Western nation particularly, to stop being capitalistic is just setting themselves for us not only a stagnant economy, but opening up competition that will leave them open to potentially, for all you know, you know, have people replace them as a power, which of course is not good, and is another reason why communism doesn't work. It hates materialism, and materialism is needed for a society to thrive. Now let's get to the third and last point of why communism doesn't work. Now, for this one, this is also just down to using your brain as well. It's simply down to the fact that communism is too complicated to work. Now, the truth about capitalism, which, of course, once you get past all the technicalities of economics and this and that, and da 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 da, which of course is quite complicated to understand, the truth of the matter is capitalism fundamentally is a very easy system to understand. Okay, all at its fundamental core, no matter how you look at it, through all the thousands of years of civilization and so on and so forth, capitalism has existed in some way, shape, or form. Did it you know, Even though the modern day version of capitalism as we know it only developed in the 12th century, it always, in some way, always existed, capitalism in some way, shape, or form throughout all the cultures of the world. And the thing about capitalism is that capitalism at a fundamental level is very easy to understand. Okay, it really is. As all it really consists of is the idea of if you work hard enough, you will get a lot of money, and when you get a lot of money, you will of course you will of course you know get to enjoy a better life, which of course is an incentive for everyone to of course do their best so they can live a much more happier, exciting life, for that matter, in all honesty. You know what I'm saying? So that's how capitalism works at its fundamental core. It's a very simple premise. Okay, if you want more from life, you have to work hard. If you work really hard, you make a lot of money, and so on and so forth. Okay. And obviously the harder you work and this and that, you make more money. But communism, on the other hand, is too complicated, as its belief system is that everyone needs to be paid equally. And of course, another thing that goes along with it is that things like materialistic objects and this and that, like jewelry and all that stuff, shouldn't be expensive at all. As the idea of it is, of course, well, it's not things people need to survive. But the problem with that is that, like anything in the world, over time, like that, when you just try to make things too specific, it's going to cause problems, because some people, of course, like everything in the world, everyone has a different opinion, and at times there's going to be conflict. Some people might say this job is more important than that other job, this job is more important than that other job, and so on and so forth. How do you verify how important a job is? That's a problem with it. How do you verify that? You know, not to mention when it comes to products as well. How do you verify it? For the longest time, people thought gold was only good for one thing, which is looking good. Now we also realize, okay, gold is also good for technology. So to end this off, what my point is that it would cause conflict over time because at some point people would realize, okay, would have, or in other words, would have issues figuring out what is needed. So it creates conflict and creates a lot of issues. So that's what my point is. It's too complicated. It's it's too complicated of a system, and it's better we just stick with capitalism. So that's the last point I have to make. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like videos like this, thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, and that's all I have to say. And simply put it, later.